My parents stopped smoking in the early 80s. Introduced about 10 years after my parents quit, the Miles program was great for smokers. Every pack of cigarettes you bought was printed with a certain number of miles that you could cash in and exchange for prizes emblazoned with the cigarette company's logo. The catalog of prizes was filled with outdoorsy products that connected with Marlboro's manly brand identity. Everything from bottle openers to cigarette lighters to leather jackets and even Swiss Army watches. Since no one in my family smoked, how could it be possible that we saved enough points to earn Marlboro flashlights, beach towels, duffel bags, playing cards, camping gear, and dozens of other prizes? Well, my mother was nothing if not enterprising. If she saw an opportunity, she took it. It turns out many smokers in the 1990s were litter bugs, and every time my brother drove us to school, her eagle eye was on the lookout for the telltale red and white packaging that was tossed in the gutters and that would let us get 5 points closer to earning, let's say, a mountain bike. She'd slow the car down, one of the kids would jump out, we'd scoop up those miles and do a little bit of cleaning of our neighborhood in the process. Marlboro shut down this promotion in September of 2006. I think it was probably because public health awareness was growing about cigarettes and regulations were beginning to be put in place to curb some tobacco advertising. Today, a lot of the Marlboro Mile products are worth a lot more than the $0 that my mother paid for them. Thanks, Mom. Hi. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna pack up this Marlboro watch that sold today and about 5 or 6 other sales, and then we'll go through the whole process packing. I'll show you exactly how much I paid for everything and how much I earned on it, and then at the end we'll see how much money we made just today. So right here, like I was saying, this is a Marlboro watch. I got this on Facebook Marketplace. I always pick these watches up if I see them, and this is probably the 4th or 5th one I've sold. This one I actually sold once before, and the buyer sent it back because it doesn't work, but it just needs a new battery. These, this watch is from probably 1993, something like that, 1994. So assuming that it has a working battery is probably not a good idea. Also, the listing describing it said that it was brand new in the box, never been used, never been worn, will need a new battery. I normally, if I have a vintage watch, I'll just change the battery myself, but these Swiss Army ones are too difficult for me to get open. I don't want to buy the equipment that I need to do that. I don't know if you'll be able to see the Marlboro branding is only on the back of the watch. So it has all the Swiss Army stuff on the front. Victorinox, I don't know if it's Victorinox or not, but has the Swiss Army stuff on the front, and then on the back is a Marlboro logo. This one still even has the plastic protective film on the back, on the metal. So this one's never even touched a wrist. So I sold it quite a long time ago, originally, maybe 8 months ago I sold it for $160, maybe $170. And I bought it for, how much did I pay for this? Just around 30, maybe 35. I bought 2 watches from one guy. They were both brand new. The first one sold within weeks of listing it, and then this one's been sitting for quite a while. The guy I bought it from, I sent him a message on Facebook and I said, here's when I can come to get it. And he said, okay, I'll meet you here's my address, come at this time. And when I got there, he said, I was the only normal person that contacted him about this watch. It's like, I just told him, I'll pay you what you're asking for it, and this is when I can come and get it. Try to be as simple as you can, but Facebook Marketplace is a wild country. and a lot of stuff goes on there. Mostly what goes on is people don't show up when they say they're going to. So, okay, I paid $37.50 for it. Probably that number, I don't know what that number means, but in my memory, I bought 2 of them for $40. So I would have paid $20 each. There might have been, I might have moved some of the cost of the return onto this one. I can't remember for sure. But I sold it today for $135 plus shipping. So we'll pack this one up, and then we'll go and pick the other. It's either 5 or 6 orders. And it might only be 5 because one of them is going to be an in-person meetup, local pickup. I didn't even know I had that turned on any of my listings, but apparently I did. Honestly, I would much prefer to just mail things to people and not have to schedule a time when we can get together, and especially if it's something that's not very valuable. No, I don't want to go out of my way to meet somebody for anything less than $50 or $60. That's just a pain. I'd rather pay the $8 to $12 and $15 to ship something and then to have to wait around and meet somebody at a White Castle parking lot. But we'll do it. I'll get to that when we get to that order. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up a little more with some tape. This flap feels like it's gonna open. Okay. I'm gonna write on here, watch. I know this is 6 by 5 by 5, and then we'll put the thing on a scale. 10 ounces. I got my screen up here. It tells me 10 ounces. So 10 ounces. I'm going to put the buyer's initials on here so I can match up the box with the proper label once the labels are printed. If this screen ever goes. Okay, SP. All right, let's go pick these other items. Okay, let's start at the bottom. Let's see. This is in the closet here. CL Mid 1B, which is all the way at the bottom. These boots are going to be in the way. I just put these boots here yesterday. Oops, that sounded bad. Okay, what am I looking for? This guy, CL GI 33. This is a GI Joe. Next thing we're looking for is gonna be these shorts, and they're still here in this tote that I've been putting clothes in. So this was just listed today, and then it sold today. And the next thing we're gonna get sold was listed today and sold today. Okay, this is 205. So it's gonna be back here. Pair of shorts. This coming up next. Fiesta wear 5. It's way back here. Here we go. I'm gonna set these down and then get everything else. Well, this might be everything already, actually. Oh no. I need to find a special box for these. I've been kind of dreading selling these because it's kind of big and might be a hassle to find a box to fit. But these are Beyblades, and then the Beyblade, call it a stadium? I don't know what you call it. Okay, I'm just gonna set that out of the way right now and get these other things packed first. Okay, let's start with this G.I. Joe. Okay, G.I. Joe. I had really a lot of G.I. Joes, and I still have quite a few, like more than I would like. I wish they would sell already, but I got these from my mother-in-law, and I don't fully understand the story, but she got them I think from, I guess it's my wife's uncle who borrowed money from her, and then when he couldn't pay it back, he gave her his childhood G.I. Joe collection, and then she just gave it to me to sell all of these toys. And I mean, when I was a kid, I had plenty of G.I. Joes, but none of them, they would have all come from garage sales, or really from garage sales. My mom would never buy a brand new toy. We got stuff somebody else had used already. And I don't think a single one of the G.I. Joes I had would have had any of its accessories, like its guns and backpacks and all that stuff. But almost everything that she gave me has all of that stuff. Even these ID cards that they would put on the back of the packages you're supposed to cut out and keep in a file box or whatever. I never even saw those until she gave me all these. And they're good. Some of them are, I'm sure I sold some of them for, if not over 100, at least approaching 100. And I sold plenty that were like, $5 or $6 as well. I'm putting this card in this little cardboard sandwich to protect it, and I'm going to put it on the bottom of this box. So this guy is named Chuckles V1. I guess there's multiple versions. He has his gun with him, which is in the bag, and the holster. So I guess that's what makes him a little more valuable. She just gave it to me, so I didn't pay anything for it, but I sold it for $39.99. I think that was maybe that was on an offer. I can't remember for sure. He's got a messed up looking face. Can you see? It looks like pretty bad bags under his eyes. Anyway, I'll keep him in the bag here with a gun, and then we'll wrap a little bubble wrap. Like I said, almost all of the ones that she gave me had all of their accessories. There were some where I had the accessories but not the right character, and I've been able to sell those individually. People who are completing their collection. People who are like me, got their G.I. Joes as a kid from a garage sale, and now they're trying to complete the whole set. So yeah, if you just see guns and backpacks or anything like that, especially if you can find them in a big batch, like pick those up. They're good value. And I probably have 50 or 60 of these G.I. Joes left, and I would estimate that I don't know, maybe I've made $1,000 on them. And that's just a guess, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let's take this label off. This box just came in the mail the other day. It had a tea subscription in it for, I bought one of these monthly tea boxes for my wife for her birthday. I'm more excited when they come than she is. They come with a little sheet of paper that tells you what kind of tea is in there and the name of the family that produced it and all this stuff. And she's not interested, but I think it's fun. And then I'm also excited to get to have the free box. So there's a box there. I'm going to write Chuckles. I'm just going to write Chuck. I'll know what it means. He's only 5 ounces, so this is going to be pretty cheap. 7 by 7 by 3. 7 by 7 by 3, and it's going to go to TC in Maryland. Okay, this is a pair. This next thing here is a pair of shorts. These are biking shorts. They're Peloton. They have Peloton on them, and also Hincapie Peloton shorts. So I usually pick up anything I can that has Peloton on it if it's cheap enough, and it's not always a winner, but very often it is. So like I said, these I just listed them today. I bought them for $5, which is high for me, and I sold them for $25. I probably, since they sold so quickly, well, $25.99. Since they sold so quickly, I probably should have priced them higher. Maybe I could have got 35. I don't know. I'm going to use a Amazon envelope to mail this in, and I'm sure it'll be fine. I had some Peloton, they're like heart monitors that strap around your chest. Whoops. I'm running out of tape. I'm gonna have to get another roll. So I got these heart monitors that wrap around your chest, and I paid up for them a little bit. I can't remember if I paid 10 for them and they were really only worth 25 or something like that. Let's go get another roll of tape. And they've been sitting for a long time. I thought I would be able to sell those quickly, but they're just sitting and sitting. But every other time I get my hands on some Peloton stuff, it goes out the door like this one, only one day. One time on Facebook Marketplace, someone was giving away a Peloton bike that the screen on it didn't work. And so they were just going to get rid of the whole bike. They said, we bought a new one, so just come and take the old one. And I really wanted to get that because I'm sure you could part those out and do really well on them. And maybe you even, I mean, how much could the new screen cost? Much less than the actual bike. I think I looked it up and the screens were selling for like $75 or something like that. So I guess it's easier to just give something away than to try to spend a little time and fix it. But okay, shorts. But somebody else got to that before I did. CT is the initials. This is only 7 ounces. And the measurements are 11 by 9 by 1. That's ready. All right. Next. This also just got listed today and sold right away. It's a Fiesta ware. It's supposed to be for like your kitchen utensils. Put your spatulas and things in it. I think that's what it's for. I suppose you could use it for a flower pot or some kind of a vase. That sold quickly. I didn't expect it to. I haven't had much luck with Fiesta ware. I like it, and so I often look at it and pick it up. But yeah, I have some really nice Fiesta ware bowls, a whole lot of them. I think it's 8 or 10 of them that have been listed for a long time. And I have had some bites on it, like some people saying, can you just sell me one, or can you take out the pink ones or the red ones or whatever? It's really difficult to date these things if you're not an expert on it. It's tough because they have several different colors, and you can tell. You're looking at the photos to tell what color it is online, which isn't always an accurate representation of the color. And then they changed their logo a few times, so you can figure out based on what the logo looks like and the color, pair it up together, and maybe you find out that it was made in 1943 or whatever. This one I think is pretty modern. I think they still sell this one in exactly the same style and color. But I only paid $2 for it, and I sold it for $32. I don't know. I've seen other people shipping. If something has a void in it, they'll fill it all the way up with paper or bubble or something. I don't know the reason for it. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but I'm gonna just do it because I've seen other people do it. If anybody knows a reason why you would do that, let me know. See if I'm wasting my time or not. I'm gonna bubble this up quite a bit, and I'm only gonna box it. I'm gonna use 2 boxes here, I think, but I'm not gonna double box it, which I probably would if it was, more like $80 or $100. But for $32, I'm not gonna go to that much trouble. But I'm gonna do a whole nother wrap of bubble, the same amount. Or similar amount anyway. and I'll go in the other direction. Okay, a little bit of tape. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little stretch wrap on here instead of tape to wrap these flaps down. And get this box finished as fast as possible. It's not too late, it's only just after 8. And I have these 5 boxes to pack and then the one to get ready for a local pickup. And then I'm hoping to get a couple more orders before the end of the night that I'll wrap up in the morning. I didn't do a packing video last night because I had only sold 1 item. And then, so I just packed the 1 package. Didn't seem like it was gonna be worth it to make a video about it. Then about 2 hours later, that was at 8, and then at 10, there was another sale. So I packed that one up. I packed that one up off camera as well, and then just as I was getting ready to go to bed around 11:30, another sale came in. So like I might as well do it. Might as well get one more packed up and ready to go. So if I had waited until 11:30, it would have been enough. There would have been enough packages to do a full video of it, but I didn't. So I can tell you the items that sold. If you're interested, it was a lot of 4 drum heads. Where am I? Okay, it was. Why? We saw these, we filmed these. Okay, it was some books, a set of, no, it wasn't. It was 4 drum heads. You've seen those drum heads before. A PlayStation 4 game, Gods of War. Oh yeah, and a Longaberger basket that I found in the garbage. I sold that for $70. So total yesterday profits was $139.67. So far this month we're staying over $100 a day, which is what I'm hoping to get each day, at least, you know, minimum. And today is going to be closer to 200, maybe even over 200 by the time we're done. All right, so I put this in here. I'm going to make a little hat to go on top of it, and then we'll fill this up with paper, and this will be ready to go. Whoops, shoot. See, that's why I use that. I always use this little bit of tape to tack down the flaps until I can get the better tape on there. But sometimes it pops up. There we go. Okay. So if you're out and about, you see anything that has a Marlboro logo on it, you should at the very least do a little research and see if it's going to be valuable or not. Some of that stuff, I've sold some sleeping bags, brand new, never opened, Marlboro Miles prizes. A lot of people got that stuff because it was free. They didn't actually really want it. And so it just sat in its original packaging for 30 years until they had an estate sale and sold it to me. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'll show you some other Marlboro things I've got here. Okay. I'm just pushing in the corners to make sure that this hat will go down as far as it needs to. There we go. That's good. Okay, cardboard. I've got a whole bunch of, I used a bunch of those flaps yesterday, but I have a lot of cardboard flaps that I save. You know, after I cut it off, I'll save it for something in the future. And yesterday I used a bunch of them for some, to put in between dishes, plates, so that they're not scratching each other. I think, what do I do? I will put, I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't think this cap is gonna come off of here, but I'm gonna put 2 long strips here, hold it on as much as I can. And then I'm gonna write on this box, Fiesta. Let's see how much it weighs, 2 pounds 13. It's about 14, let's say 9 by 9. And it is gonna be shipped to a buyer with the initials LG. So let me show you these. I have a whole lot of these. They're like Coleman coolers with the Marlboro logo printed on them. I'm sure they have a date of 1990 something. There's a date on this print somewhere, but I can't find it. I think this whole tote down here is full of them, and then I have 2 that wouldn't fit in there. So I think I have about 20 of these. I bought them for I think maybe they were $1.50 a piece. And I have them listed. I haven't sold any yet, but I hope I will. Okay, next up, these Beyblades. I have no idea about Beyblades. They all look pretty much the same to me, but I know some of them are valuable, maybe, you know, hundreds of dollars for a single one. I've bought them 3 or 4 times at yard sales. This is probably the 3rd lot that I bought and sold. And so far I haven't come across any that were really outstanding. So I got this from a young woman. She was probably her early 20s. And she said she had a Beyblade party, invited all her friends over. And she bought all of these specifically for this party so they could compete with each other in the stadium there. So I don't know how much they cost new. You know how much she spent on these Beyblades just for one party, but she sold me the whole lot for $10. And I had them listed for a few months, so I did lower the price on it recently, and it dropped it down to like, what did I say, $55. So I wouldn't say that was a huge win, $10 into $50 after fees and everything. We'll see where we end up, but it's not going to be a huge profit, but it's not a bad profit. I don't know how to really pack these. I don't think they should probably be touching each other too much, but I don't want to waste a ton of bubble wrap either. I'm going to put everything inside the stadium when I'm done with it. I'm just going to pack them right in here. I think these were past my time. I never played with a Beyblade in my life. But they must still be, I mean, people must still have competitions or something, because like I was saying, I've seen some that look identical to this that sold for $150 to $400. So why would you buy those if you weren't using them to win some competition? Shoot. I could barely even figure out how to work them when I brought them home. I was trying to do a little bit of playing with them myself. And there's all of these rip cords to spin them, but I couldn't really get it to work very well. So I guess they're supposed to fall apart. Like that's part of the deal. When they hit each other, they explode. But unfortunately, that means sometimes they just explode and you don't know which parts go with which ones. I don't know if it even matters if they have corresponding pieces. I have no idea. So if you're a Beyblade expert, let's hear about it. Tell me how they work. All right. Do they, I mean, they must have, do they have like a legitimate competitions, like sanctioned organizations? Or do you just play with this in your backyard? There we go. Okay, there's just a few left here. I'm going to try to get these last few wrapped up with the rip cords. Hopefully this will be fine. I mean, they're intended to be smashed around, so I probably don't have to go crazy with this bubble wrap the way I am, but still. $55 is $55. That's what somebody paid for them. They're going to want to receive them in the best condition they can. This guy's falling out. Okay. Okay, let's go. Good. I'm hoping this box will be tall enough. Yeah, perfect. But I'm gonna have to wrap it. I'm gonna put a lot of paper inside here. To kind of lock these things in place so they're not banging around. Well, this thing's already falling apart. I don't know how it's supposed to work. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm going to put one or two wraps of stretch wrap on this. So this lid doesn't pop off. Good enough. I thought I heard somebody walking up behind me. Sometimes I can freak myself out. You know, you hear a little noise in the house and you're by yourself. We first moved into this house, I spent many hours when I was alone here by myself and we had just moved in. And it's a pretty big house and it has some twists and turns in it. You get the feeling that somebody could be in here and you would never know it. They could live in here for days secretly. So we have this apartment down here that I use for my eBay business. But there's also an apartment on the second floor, so There's multiple entrances into the building, and you know, we just moved in. Who knows? Who knows who has keys and who doesn't? There were multiple nights when I would be contemplating whether I should be pacing around looking for somebody hiding in the basement or in the second floor or in the back room or in the garage or whatever. But so far, we've had no intruders. No, well, this is a story for another day, but we did have an intruder one time. We could see on our Blink camera someone coming in the door one night, obviously drunk, coming to the wrong house. So he was in the house for about 2 or 3 minutes before he realized he had gone to the wrong place. So maybe someday, I saved that video off the Blink camera, maybe someday I'll show it to you. It is pretty creepy. We've gotten a lot better at making sure all the doors are closed and locked since then, but yeah, that was a scary one. We didn't even see it. I mean, we were in the house and then we saw it. We were in the house when he was in the house, so we didn't know it because we were in bed at night. And my wife saw it on the Blink camera a few nights later when she was checking for something else. Okay, Beyblades. How much does it weigh? 6 pounds. 6 pounds, 4 ounces. That's heavier than I would have thought. And it's 20 by 14. Is this going to be another FedEx trip? By 9. They're starting to recognize me there when I go in the morning. I usually use FedEx for oversized packages. They get to be a lot cheaper than this is going all the way to California too. EC. They're a lot cheaper than USPS when you get over a certain size. And UPS is usually about the same price as FedEx, but the FedEx is close by on my way to work. I can just drop off a package there. Okay, let's get labels printed for all these. And then I will get the final item that's going to be for local pickup. Okay, eBay. Go to eBay. Go to the notification bell and click these paid ship now link. And that gets you to the bulk label purchasing page on eBay. Whoops. Don't need to do that. Okay, this right now says ground advantage, and I've only charged for 4 pounds, and it's over 6. 6 pounds 11, and it's 20 by 14 by 9. So let's see how much this is going all the way to California. Well, how is that right? It's not. $22. How much did he pay? He paid $22.39 and it's $22.26. I want to just see. FedEx is $19.71, so that's $2 cheaper. It's not worth it. I'm just going to send it USPS. That will save me. I mean, it's cost $2 more, and I won't have to make a special trip to the FedEx store. So I'm going to try to get this out of the way. I see a label here I didn't notice before, so I'm going to cover this with a blank label. There's another one over here. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. Next up is the Swiss Army watch. And it weighs 10 ounces. 10 ounces, 6 by 5 by 5, and it's going to cost $5.31. Let's put these shipping costs directly into my spreadsheet, and we'll figure out how much money we made on each of these items. Okay, so Swiss Army watch was $5.31. So total on that is $119.48. So we did pretty good on that watch. Now the Beyblades, 22, 26. We'll put that in here. We're gonna make $20 on these. Oh no, more, $34.65. So that's okay. Now the watch. Now this Fiesta wear, which weighs 2 pounds, 3 ounces. And the package is 14 by 9 by 9. So that's going to be $7.16. It's only going to Missouri. I don't know how close that is to me. Independence, Missouri. I mean, I'm in Chicago, so I guess we're state buddies. $25.13 total net on that Fiesta wear. Now the shorts. This one should be pretty cheap. 7 ounces, 11 by 9 by 1. Ground Advantage is $4.57. And this is going to North Carolina. So total profit on that is $18.37. Now the last thing should be G.I. Joe, who weighs 5 ounces, 7 by 7 by 3, $4.57. Is MD Maryland? I think it is. So that is pretty far. $4.57 for G.I. Joe earns us a total of $36.59. Let's print these labels, get them on here, and then I'm going to get that final item. Review purchase, $43.87 in shipping today. Confirm. Sometimes this takes a few minutes. Print labels. Sometimes this takes a few minutes before you can hit the print button. There it is, print. Okay, here come some labels. Let's get these labels going. Let's get them going. Here it comes. Well, something got tangled up here and that one printed off the edge. I don't know if there's a way to just print one of these. I'm not sure which one it would even be. I'm going to reprint all of these. Something went wrong here and it got hung up. I'm just going to throw these in the garbage. It's wasteful, but those labels are so cheap. Essentially, they're free, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, here we go. EC. Let's start at this end. I'm going to put some of this stuff away. And then print these labels. I mean, put the labels on the box. Okay, TC, thank you TC for the purchase. Next up is CT, thank you CT. Appreciate it. Fiesta wear is going to LG, thank you LG. The watch, this is the big sale of the day. I've been wanting this to go for a while. SP, and then the final one, EC. I'll put a package pickup request in with the USPS and leave these on the porch in the morning when I go to work, and the carrier will come and pick them up. I was having trouble with that. The packages were never getting picked up, and I kept thinking that I was blaming my carrier. But ultimately it turned out that Some part of the, all right, where is this thing? Some part of the USPS website had my old address and some part had my new address. So when I was requesting pickups, they were going to pick them up at the apartment I used to live in, and I felt bad that I was, in my brain, I was blaming the carrier when it was my fault the whole time. Okay, this thing, the other thing that sold, which is going to be a local pickup, is that combo VCR DVD player that I got returned a couple of days ago. I was questioning whether I should relist it. They said they got it and it would not play a DVD. So I got it home and I tested it and it works exactly the way I would have expected it to. So ultimately I did relist it and I sold it only one day later. So hopefully we won't have any issues with it again. I don't really want to have this buyer come to my house and test it out or anything, but that probably would be the prudent thing to do. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to meet him at the corner and get him to scan, or I'll scan a QR code. I've only done a local pickup one other time. It was for a baseball glove. But I want to get this out, get it ready to go. Hopefully I'll be able to meet him tomorrow after work or Friday sometime in the day. Right now, where should I put this? I'm going to put it here in this sink and I'll know where it is and I won't have to dig for it. So that's it for today. 6 sales. Unless some of those noises I just heard were more sales. No. So 6 sales today. A pretty good day, I would say. $287.63 total. So that brings my daily average for March up to $183.51. And then the per sale average is $35.29. I'm happy with those numbers. I would like to get one more thing sold before morning, so we'll see if that happens. Anyway, these are going to go on the porch, and then we'll be back tomorrow night with more packing videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.